Hello, hello. We have something very fun to play with today. A new feature for GPT-4 that I have been eagerly awaiting ever since they first showed it off in the lead up to GPT-4's launch. Image analysis. This is the ability to upload an image, ask questions about it. What could be funny about this? And they get a detailed, meaningful response. It's actually very good, and it's very fun to mess around with and see what its limitations are. The humor in this image might stem from the playful juxtaposition of the character's hair being turned into ice cream while she's consuming one, creating a sort of humorous irony. Not bad! How about this page from the new volume just recently scanlated of Shima-kun? What's going on? Oh, well, let's break down, panel by panel, what's happening. Understanding the sequence of it, understanding the plot. Talking about why it could be funny or tense. A picture of my mom's partner. What animal is the man holding? In fact, it is a turkey vulture. My mom was over, so we were messing around with this. Can you describe the scene in the manner of Shakespeare? It thinks it's a dog, which is not too unreasonable, but not quite right. Write some dialogues the animals in the picture might be having and or their inner thoughts. Very silly. Doesn't quite capture it, because of course the comedy here comes from the cat's facial expressions. Rhyming couplets to describe this image. Yeah, we were having a lot of fun with it. I tried translation. The cats are saying sa. I think it's pronounced makata da nya, which is like, we're gonna fight. Let's fight. And it totally butchers the optical character recognition, but we'll give it another chance. This is a building that's going in next door. They're building something in there. It's going to be something. I think it might be an optometrist, but I was like, what's under construction here? My boyfriend's dog? Why is my boyfriend's dog sitting like that? One thing that was disappointing, this was from a party. Everybody had to write down what skills they had. And I said, using this chart, can you predict which people work in software engineering? No. It doesn't like to speculate on people, because I think it was just too hard to train it not to say potentially offensive things, so it just doesn't comment on people at all. But it can still parse the chart, which is pretty neat. Can analyze this chart. It gets a little confused because it doesn't see these labels of ethical, unethical, upstanding, degenerate. But yeah, pretty cool. Describing what is funny about this drawing by internet artist Sato. It gets it. It can understand this Far Side comic very well. This one, it didn't understand it at all. But I found this the most amusing. How little it understood this comic, and I think that more than anything really motivated me to want to make this video and explore other weird deficiencies it might have in parsing images. So this comic, of course, he's contemplative, and then he builds this monstrous hell around him and then starts freaking out. And you use this on the internet to reply to people that are freaking out about something they've just completely made up and imagined on their own. But the GPT thinks that this is peeling back the curtain, and then doesn't really understand that these are like cardboard cutouts. He casually interacts with them by feeding one. Situation then escalates to absurdity when one of the creatures becomes upset and knocks him over. So it's not quite right there, or in fact not even close to right. But I've prepared 20 test images. We'll go through them one by one and see how they do. First off, we're going to give it another shot at translating Japanese and doing optical character recognition. To be fair, the first image I gave it was just a picture of my Switch. It wasn't ideal. This instead is a panel from a comic I scanned. And I wouldn't say the Japanese on here is particularly hard, and there isn't a ton of text. So we're gonna see how it handles it. I think, this could be very useful in the future. Or maybe some combination of this and Google Translate could be very powerful. Because Google Translate can do like optical translation as well. Ooh, I forgot to ask it to do something. Stop. Can you translate the text in this image and describe what is happening in this scene? We'll upload our image again. All right, let's try. Oh, it's uploading the image. Nice, okay. Message and conversation not found. Oh no! Let's start a new chat. Maybe that will help. We're using GPT-4. Can you please translate the text in this image and describe what's happening in this scene? Please and thank you. Oh, I hope it's not broken. Okay, sure. Main character with a hat. Arigato! Nope. Onegaishimasu. She's going, please take one. Text bubble above 2 startled characters. Now, it's certainly trying very hard. Sign on building candy store. What? This thing that says coffee? Yeah, it can't do this at all. Alright, well, that's fine, because Google Translate image parsing is already quite a bit ahead of this. But I thought, you know, it's worth a try. Yeah, it's not... None of these, I think, are correct. Text next to main character. Important! You know... Enthusiastically receives or purchases a drink. Likely apple juice from another girl with a ponytail. Where is this ponytail girl? I can't even tell. Alright, well, let's move on. Okay, the next one I have is kind of boring. This was just, I basically was just kind of randomly looking through images and trying to decide which ones would be fun to try out. This is a chart I made for work that just kind of talks about if you have certain standards of availability, what does that mean in terms of how many downtimes you get. So I want to try to ask it a question about this chart that requires a little bit of interpretation. So I'm going to say, based on this chart, if you had 5 nines of reliability or availability, how much downtime would you be allowed in a span of 5 years? Now, I feel fairly confident about this. So basically, it should just multiply this number by 5, the 5.26 minutes. Yes! Excellent! Excellent! Okay. Now, that's not too exciting, that's not too funny, but it's cool that it can do it. This is where the actual real functionality of this comes into play. Alright, next, I was digging through an old folder of stuff I'd saved from 4chan. Now, this is an edit of a page from Yotsuba talking about, you've been watching Gurren Lagann, I'm watching Lucky Star, you can't watch both, you can't watch a Moe show and a Gar show at the same time. Now, I don't know if you Zoomers out there even know what the word Gar means, but it was a 4chan term that was popular at the time to just mean like a very manly show. And I don't expect GPT-4 to know that either, but I'm really curious what it makes of this image. What is the message of this comic strip? What are moe shows and gar shows? Would I be able to watch Lucky Star and Hidamari Sketch at the same time? Come on. Don't break on me. Tell me what my comic means. Check Discord quick on my phone. Come on. I know you want to tell me. It might just be broken. We might have to start a new chat again. Maybe let's try that. Stop generating. New chat. What is the message of this comic? What are gar shows and moe shows? Would I be able to watch Lucky Star and Hidamari Sketch at the same time? Please. Yeah. Understand anime. The main takeaways from the comics include personal preference. One character seems to be admonishing the other for not watching certain types of anime, including indicating the diverse range of tastes and preferences in anime fandom. Anime subgenres. The terms gar and moe refer to themes or subgenres in anime. It understands moe. It understands gar! It knows gar! Ho ho! What in the world? How? A supposed contradiction in watching both moe and gar shows at the same time, suggesting they are opposing genres, and thus should be mutually exclusive in terms of viewership. Obviously an exaggeration in form of humor. Answer your specific questions. Lucky Star is moe. Hidamari Sketch. With many moe elements. You can absolutely watch both Lucky Star and Hidamari Sketch at the same time. Any combination shows if you wish. There's no real contradiction in watching different subgenres of anime concurrently. It's so concerned. The comic's message is more of a tongue-in-cheek comment on fandom habits and should not be taken as a serious guideline. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, ChatGPT. Alright, here's another one. I can remember this image. I probably haven't thought about this in like 15 years. But I really do enjoy this image a lot. And happy to see it again. Happy to see what our AI overlord thinks. Can you explain this image? This one's a task. Particular feat using a pizza and bananas. Okay, so it's mostly going to summarize it, but I think at the end, maybe it will offer some speculation as to why you want to place the pizza on the bananas. The image uses visual aids along with textual instructions to explain next step. However, the purpose or end result of placing the pizza on the bananas is not clear from the image alone. It might be a humorous or abstract representation without a practical application. Nice. You're not wrong. Okay, this is... I was curious if it could parse this 4chan thread and understand that people are replying to the original post, if it can parse this user was banned for this post thing, can understand that Moot, the admin, is replying to this. A lot of aspects of this image, you know, you kind of have to like understand 4chan quite a bit, or understand just kind of internet forms in general to understand what's going on. So if we just say like, what's happening in this image? Why would it be funny? User anonymous. They don't... Does it understand? Yeah, it understands be and. It understands be and. The attached image of Yotsuba, a popular manga character, is used as a related or relevant image for this post. Top 2 responses give somewhat tongue-in-cheek answers. Third response... Oh, they think that Moot is surprised by the ban. They don't get that Moot is the one that banned them for saying such like a reasonable thing. Yeah, the seemingly innocuous response of buying manga in stores gets the user banned, which is an over-the-top and unexpected reaction, making it humorous. The ban contrasts with the initial worry about getting banned for asking about the downloading. The admin surprise further highlights the absurdity of the situation. The scenario captures the unpredictable and sometimes whimsical nature of image board moderation and community interactions. The juxtaposition of a reasonable suggestion resulting in a ban with the context of the initial post creates the comedic effect. So true! That's pretty good. The one that really surprised me is that it knew that be and is in reference to getting banned. But it really can break down like the whole kit and caboodle of it. Phenomenal. Okay, next. This is another image from that era of 4chan that I really enjoyed. We got Biggie on the shirt. Biggie seems to be interested and fascinated by the toy as well. It's a classic. It's a laugher. It's a gaffer. It's funny. Will GPT be able to understand the comedy of this image? What is funny about this image? Will it know? Oh no! Why not? I think it's because it involves, like, people. Yeah. Shoot. It's fair enough. They gotta be really sensitive so that this thing doesn't start calling people slurs based on images you feed into it or anything terrible like that. So it's understandable that it doesn't want to comment on this, but I really wish it could tell me. I would be so happy if it could say it looks like Biggie is looking at the toy. That would just that would make my day. Not that my day isn't already made by all of this. It's just so crazy. Okay, so this is actually a comic I drew. There's a long story behind this that I won't make you suffer through, but the end result is that I drew some Idolmaster 4 Coma. And here, you know, it's just 2 little 4 Coma strips. I quite like this one. I think this is maybe my favorite page from the whole comic. I like my little drawings of the skeletons and stuff. So I'm just kind of curious what it thinks of this, if I can draw well enough to like make it understand what I'm trying to draw. I don't know. We'll see. Can you explain this image? Why might it be funny? I think maybe I made a video on this 4 Coma little collection I made before. 2 district extensions, Totentans and Memento Mori. Both titles allude to themes of death. Yes. Very true. Here's a breakdown of the comic. Now, I think already it thinks this is the first strip, this is the second strip. But because I'm a big weeb, this is the first strip, this is the second strip. And of course, she's wearing a t-shirt. This character is always wearing a t-shirt that says, "If you work, you die." Work hard to relax, death is inevitable. Next frame humorously simplifies the image with an image of a skeleton. Your bones will eventually look the same. It doesn't say anything about the 4th frame of this comic. I guess it just doesn't understand what's going on there. Very good. It understands like people talking. Which is humorously revealed. Complimenting character suggests a way the shirt could be improved. This is... This is like not... It's... it's like it doesn't quite keep track in its head, whatever, with how like the number of frames we're on, right? This is frame 1. Frame 1 is frame 1. Frame 2, it says, is just this part of frame 1. The third frame is the third frame. And the last frame is like... I don't know, it's very confusing. Yeah, it's close enough. It understood what I was like trying to draw, which is cool. Alright, next one. My boyfriend is playing through some Yakuza games. And I tried to teach him how to play Mahjong, but, you know, he instead just cheated and used a cheat item that lets you have Tenho and 13 Orphans, which I can't remember what it's called in Japanese. Which is, of course, like a hand that you will never, ever, ever experience in real life. And I was sad that he got to have a triple Yakuman, and I did not ever get to ever have that. But regardless, I wanted to know, can it parse Mahjong hands? Why is this hand worth so many points? Does it know the rules of Mahjong? I would rather like give it other experiments, like giving it an image of a hand and saying, what is this hand waiting on to win? Or how many points would this hand score? But this is the image that I had on hand, so we're gonna run with it. Kukoshi Muso. It knows about Kukoshi Muso. Yup. It knows Tenho. Beautiful. Yeah, because pure 13 Orphans is often triple or double Yakuman already. So you can see he had one of each and was waiting on the double. He didn't already have the double on his hand and was waiting for one of the individuals. See, here it doesn't quite understand. The Dora doesn't give him any extra points here. But I think it just assumes that it must be relevant because there was a Dora indicator. But yeah, it actually parsed the hand pretty well. But yeah, I would like to get like a manga page or something that shows a Mahjong hand and be like, what is this hand waiting for? Is this a likely wait or something? I don't know. Pretty cool. Not bad. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, now here's one. This is a picture of where I grew up, by the way. This is some Keats the YouTube channel lore. I was going through some old hard drives, and I found these drone pictures that my cousin took of the family farm. So I grew up in this house, and then my grandma lived in this farm down the street. And there's nothing else. For miles and miles in any direction, there's nothing else, and that was my life. So I wanted to experiment a little bit with like having it speak a little more abstractly about things. So can you describe the life of a child that grew up in the setting pictured? Oh, maybe it's going to say no. Maybe that's too close to comfort when it comes to talking about people. Oh, just kidding. No, it's all good. Here's a narrative describing the life of a child growing up. It's gonna try to describe my life. In the heart of the countryside, where the horizon was painted with shades of green and brown, a child named Alex grew up on a family-owned farm. The vast fields that surrounded their home were more than just plots of land. They were a playground, a classroom, and a source of livelihood. Morning for Alex began early, with the crowing of roosters acting as a natural alarm clock. After a hearty breakfast, often consisting of farm fresh eggs and homemade bread, Alex would accompany their parents to the fields. Together, they would tend to the crops, feeding the livestock and maintaining the equipment. The rhythm of the seasons dictated their activities from planting seeds in the spring to harvesting in the fall. The farm was also a place of learning for Alex. While they attended a local school, the farm taught invaluable lessons about responsibility, hard work, and the interconnectedness of life. For instance, understanding the importance of rain to their crops or seeing the symbiotic relationship between bees and flowering plants were lessons no textbook could fully capture. After school and chores, the expansive fields became Alex's playground. They would run through the fields with their dog, climb trees, and on hot summer days, take a dip in a nearby pond. The woods and fields were rife with adventures where Alex would imagine being explored, discovering new lands, or a night on a quest. Social life in such a rural settings was different than in urban areas. Yeah. Tell me about it. Instead of malls or movie theaters, entertainment came in the form of community gatherings, barn dances, and local fairs. Alex's family often hosted gatherings where neighbors would come together to share meals, stories, and laughter. The stars in the night sky were clearer here than anywhere else. Alex would often lie on the grass during summer nights, gazing up at the Milky Way, dreaming about the future and the world beyond the farm. As the years went by, the bond Alex felt with the land deepened. They learned to respect nature, understanding that it could be both a generous provider and a formidable adversary. The challenges of farm life, from unpredictable weather to pests, taught Alex resilience and adaptability. When it was time for college, Alex felt torn between their love for the farm and the allure of the city. However, the values, work ethic, and connection to nature instilled in them during their formative years on the farm became their guiding principles no matter where life took them. Not bad. Not bad. It extrapolated a lot of stuff, it came up with a nearby pond, and it came up with a lot of stuff. Accurate? No. I don't know, like, aspects are accurate. Aspects lined up with my childhood, I guess. I like that they chose a androgynous, gender-ambiguous name and then used neutral pronouns. That's cool. What's accurate? I did like wandering around a lot. I did have a dog. There was no nearby pond. None of this stuff really happened. Well, there was local fairs occasionally. We had church, I guess. The stars are nice out in the country. I did dream a lot about the world beyond the farm. Yeah, but no, I just wanted to go to the city so badly. More accurate is that if on most days, if you zoom in through this window, you would see me sitting here-ish on a computer looking at 4chan. And that was my childhood. Okay. Very interesting. Here's part of another comic. I was just drawing some animals with my mouse and paint. I want to see, can it identify the animals? Can you identify the animals drawn in this picture? This is a real test of my artistic skills. Come on now. You know what they are. Show me. Elephant, giraffe, check, check. Person, not an animal, but included in the drawing, check. Pig, incorrect. Bee, check. I think it's a butterfly, but whatever. Octopus, check. Turtle, check. Rabbit, check. Sheep, check. Jellyfish, check. It's a delightful assertion of cues. Yeah! You've done a charming job with these animal doodles. How did it know it was me? Thank you. Thank you, though. I don't know. I guess I thought this cow was a pig. To be fair, I drew the nose quite like a pig. Thank you. It's all I want is a little recognition. Okay, that was a success. So this is my diary. I've talked about this before, I think, my comic diary that I write in each night and have since I was like literally a child, in high school sometime. My handwriting is terrible. I think only I can read this, basically. And it makes me kind of want to like scan it and digitize it, like type it out. I think that's like a kind of fun, very long-term project. let's see. Can you read the handwriting in this image? What does it say? If it can do this, my transcription process is gonna be way faster. Hey, not bad so far. It added an additional 0 here, but that's fine. Cube and set up V9 shower. Cube screen and lift. Went to Bronte at 11, correct. Rest and draw of torches. Meet Grandma Jamie Katz at Bin Cluster. Darrow's Grandma Slurry, unnamed. She got Grandma's. Play piano. Meet Hannah's boyfriend, correct. Some juggling to mom stays at my guest house at 7:30. The mom, Justin Yu. Bag tossed. Chuck it out. Bounce phone pit. B. Toronto. Get home outside. Some good Sikhs. Calls. Co between less than 11. I leg cost. Fuel pump. Get another. Good life. B. ... There's like parts of it that are correct. Most of it is like not correct at all. Excellent. All right, let's move on. I didn't have high hopes. Okay, this one I play Guess the Game with my boyfriend and another friend every day. And this one, I was mad because I guessed Surgeon Simulator 1 on the first frame, on the first screenshot. I was like, I don't know, I've never played that game. I've seen footage of it, but I've never played it. But I just had this like inkling. I think this is Surgeon Simulator. It just looks like that kind of game. So I guess Surgeon Simulator. No. And then I guess something else. I don't even know if Infinifactory is the game I was thinking. It's just called something like that. And then I saw this like medical diagram and I'm like, no, this is definitely Surgeon Simulator. So I guess Surgeon Simulator 2. So I was cheesed. What is unfortunate about this image? Will it be able to understand that it's tragic that I guess Surgeon Simulator 1 when the answer was Surgeon Simulator 2? Will it understand that I was close to the first frame guess, which always feels great to get? There's a lot of stuff going on in this image. A lot of... This means they had a couple of incorrect attempts about... Okay. But does it get... It doesn't get that guessing Surgeon Simulator 1... Okay. It doesn't quite get it. It doesn't quite get that this is, like, the tragic part. That I knew was Surgeon Simulator, but... Alright. It's pretty close. Okay. This is another kind of just, like, useful one. This is some, it's like pork belly fried up with various stuff that I got with a friend a while ago. And I wanted to be like, what kind of food is pictured? Can you provide a sample recipe that may recreate this dish? Because this is one, again, that's like just genuinely useful that I could see myself using often if it works. Stir-fried dish with chunks of meat, possibly chicken or pork. All right, it is pork. Bell peppers and snow peas. Not snow peas, green beans, but close. Served over rice. Fried item on top. Tempura fried wonton. I think this is just a fried egg. But, hey, not bad. Not bad. Not amazing, but not bad. Like, the mind-blowing part is still that it's just starting with an image. The fact that it's starting with an image and it's getting this good is crazy, and we can't understate that. But past that, it's like, it doesn't, like, it's already amazing. But it doesn't go into mind-bendingly extraordinary, I guess, yet. Let's see if this recipe looks any good. Yeah, that seems all fine. Yeah, I don't know, this seems good. Sure. Thanks. Thanks. Didn't get that it was pork belly. To me, there's no day of the week that I don't know this is pork belly. Because you can see the layering of the skin, the fat, and the meat. Now, I mean, I am looking for that in particular. But to me, this is obviously pork belly. This is another very indicative piece. But pretty good. I think it made a reasonable guess. Okay. This is from my journey to St. Louis that I talked about in another video. That the plane turned around midair, which I've never had happen before. So I'm curious if I can figure out what is unusual and possibly worrying about this image. If it can parse what it's looking at as on an in-flight map. Yup. Yup. Hey, nice. Yup. There's a significant deviation in the form of a loop or a circle. This could be indicative of the plane having to circle or reroute for some reason. In real-time situations, this could be due to a variety of reasons, such as waiting for landing clearances at Boise Airport, no. Dealing with inclement weather, no. Or other unforeseen operational issues, yes. If the plane were to deviate from its intended flight path significantly without any communicated reason, it might be cause for concern about the passengers, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't seem to quite get that the plane has just made an entire loop. I think that is clearly bad. Significant deviation in the form of a loop or a circle. I don't know. It's like close. It's kind of interesting trying to judge like when it is working just from the image and when it's kind of like compounding based on a theory it has from the image. Because here it's like, okay, there's a significant deviation in the form of a loop or a circle. True. And then it seems from this point on that it's just kind of like talking generally about what deviations typically are without really thinking about what could be applicable in this situation. Like landing clearance makes no sense for it to have done this. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's still quite good. Okay, here's another one I wanted to experiment with. Is this a powerful magic card? Why or why not? This is, of course, Time Walk, one of the all-time most powerful magic cards of all time. Oh, it just, like, knows. It doesn't even need to analyze the power level of the card. It just knows the Time Walk is a powerful card. Okay. Maybe I should have, like, made up a custom card and asked how strong it is. Okay, I'm gonna try that. I have some custom cards saved on my computer. These are ones that GPT actually made earlier, if you recall. Damn, it was so good at making cards. Yeah, it's just drawing from like memory here. So let's give it a card it's like never seen before. Mystic Soul Weaver. It's a cool card. I want to do this again now that we have like Dolly 3. We can make like crazy good art for them. Okay. Is this a powerful magic card? Why or why not? So now, you know, this is a card that doesn't exist. But let's see if it can figure out. Nice! It knows what Flash does! Yeah, nice. Flash and encounter something. The Spellweaver Sprite ability. I think this card is actually pretty strong. It's like Spellweaver Sprite, but for 3 mana. But then you get this like draw ability. No flying though. It's. I think it's worse than Spellweaver Sprite. That is the card I'm thinking of, right? First, I think Scryfall is down. When I was looking for card images, I noticed it was down. Good analysis. Conclusion. Very, very deep analysis. Oh, what's that card spell? It's some sort of sprite, I believe. Nice. Very robust analysis. I'm impressed. Okay. Next I had... I think this will be a slam dunk. But I had Mudhole, which is like notoriously one of the weakest Magic cards. It may just know already. Generally not considered a particularly strong card. Yeah, so it just like already knows. Spell Stutter Sprite. Yeah, I just thought of it. This is such a sick card. Oh, you know what? I got all mixed up. This is actually way stronger than Spell Stutter Sprite in some situations. Because essentially it flashes in and dazes. And then it just gets better from there. I think, yeah, actually, I think this is quite a strong card now. I mixed up what Spell Stutter Sprite does. They're both situationally better or worse. Wow! It counters Life from the Loam. It knows. It knows. This card wrecks Loam. If you really want to run a 3-mana card to wreck Loam, it understands. It understands. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Next I wanted to see... Can you tell me about the symbolism of this piece of art? This is, of course, The Mighty Guernica by Pablo Picasso. One of the greatest masterpieces of modern art. I saw it in person last year, and I was floored. It was already a painting I really enjoyed. But seeing it in person was like a whole nother level. And it's about the horrors of war in the Spanish Civil War. The fascist army was bombing and destroying a lot of like rural villages and stuff of questionable strategic importance. It was just kind of like wanton violence in order to be intimidating. And this is meant to just kind of display the chaos of war and this sort of like almost holy, overwhelming light and just these images of chaos and loss and madness and suffering. So I think this is going to be another slam dunk because this is such a famous piece of art that I don't think it's going to really need to analyze it as much as it just already knows all this stuff about Guernica, and it just knows that it's Guernica. So something I'll try to produce is like my own piece of abstract art, or maybe I'll use DALL-E and then ask about the symbolism of like that maybe. But we'll try it out. We'll see what it says. It may have some interested ideas. Oh, so it doesn't fire off immediately and say this is Guernica. That's interesting. It just says it's a cubist piece, which is true, and that it's influenced by Picasso. You could say so. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. It's not just, reading us part of the Wikipedia article about Guernica, but it actually is trying to come up with some ideas. Yeah, the bull symbolizing power and masculinity, the beastly nature of man. Very good. Distressed faces. The dominant central eye. Ah, interesting. Now that's a light bulb, but It does really look like an eye, doesn't it? And I don't think that's unintentional. Hmm. Not bad. Not bad. The candle here being like, I always really like this arm extending from way outside holding a candle. The rich symbolism in this piece, so true, so true. This really makes me want to just draw some stuff, you know, see what it thinks, see what symbolism I can evoke in it. It loved my animal drawings. It loved my animal drawings. I think it thought it was talking to a child. Goodness. Okay. This is pretty impressive. I'm very impressed that it didn't just go, this is Guernica, here's some information on Guernica, but instead tried to analyze it just as an image, with, of course, the context of knowing what cubism is and stuff. Very cool. Okay. Next we have some pictures I created in DALL-E 3. What is going on in this image? This is, I wanted to try to create some like cute voxel art of stuff. I asked for like voxel art of the bridge of the Star Trek Enterprise. It doesn't really know how to do that, but it came up with something that I think is quite funny and cute. So we'll see what it thinks. Nice. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Ah! Maybe it's breaking. I only have a few left. Now that I understand better like what it's good at or bad at, I think I have a better sense of what will be interesting to do in the future. What I really like the idea of is trying to draw some art and have it analyze it. Like, I think this would be a fun game or challenge, is to come up with a piece of art that makes it say, this is symbolic of XYZ thing. This is symbolic of the struggle to remain environmentally conscious in a world where many of life's pleasures are incredibly wasteful. Something like that. And then have it spit that out as a potential answer, only drawing symbolic shapes or something. Try to form some like hidden symbolic language with it, I think could be really cool. Voxel art, nice. Large arms with buttons. Ah. Doesn't get that it kind of looks like the Enterprise, that it was an attempt to draw the Enterprise. Neat, okay. And then another GPT art. I asked for screenshots of a Seinfeld RTS game, and this was one of the ones it gave me, which I quite like. There's a lot going on here. What is this? It's like kind of hard to tell what it is. Like, this part indicates it knows it's Seinfeld. It's Seinfeld. Command and Conquer. Why not? This is bizarre because like I don't think it's that recognizable as the characters from Seinfeld. Like, this looks sort of like Jerry, but like not that much like Jerry. It's just like a whole bunch of Jerrys. And it's like not quite. It does like get what's going on. Okay, I think the feedback loop of DALL-E 3 and GPT-4 Image Analysis, two products by OpenAI that have come out quite recently, I think there's endless fun to be had in feeding these around. Actually, I don't know why I didn't think to do any of these, but there's so many of these I can do. Okay, how about this one? What do you think of this one? What is this? This is from my Garfield fighting game. I was asking it for Garfield fighting game, and it came up with some great stuff. Okay, so on the right is Garfield. True. Exaggerated, beefy style, likely for comedic effect. Another cat character. This is like one of my favorite designs of all time. And it just spit it out. Because I asked for Garfield fighting game. You're damn right it's a 2D fighting game. Health bars on tap. Timer reading 00. Yup. Background creatures. The background is so scary. I just love this guy so much. Okay. I was asking for a lot of like R. Crumb style drawings because it was quite good at that. My favorite was probably this one. R. Crumb style. Oops. R. Crumb style drawing of Garfield and Tony Soprano. I'm just gonna hit it with a what is this? Isn't this an amazing drawing? Why not? It's like afraid of it. It's like too scary. It's Tony Soprano. Okay, fine. Let's move on. My final challenge. Can it understand things with slightly social context? And here we dread into dangerous territory, but we're just going to dip our toe into it for today. So this is the condo that I live in, and they had this tour out front. Now, this building you may consider a gentrifying force in my neighborhood, which is true and something that I have to reckon with morally, you know, for my own moral sanity. But it is what it is, basically. But I did find it very funny and hopefully cathartic for the person who wrote this to write "Ya rich cunts" on this placard kind of thing. What is the intended message here? I don't know if it'll engage because this is, you know, pretty vulgar. Alright, it's trying to, however, it seems that someone has vandalized the sign with graffitiing. Yeah. Not bad. And I think we'll leave it at that for now. This is already quite a long video, and I got some other stuff I need to do. But I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed with this feature. It's kind of insane. It's really quite mind-blowing. And, I don't know, like, I have so many ideas for things I want to play with this. It's kind of overwhelming. But we'll leave it here for now. And please, you know, let me know ideas you have, or if you've been playing around with this, what kind of funny things you've gotten as results. It's pretty cool. Okay, bye-bye.